0 to 1, Notes on Startups, or How to Build the Future, is written by Peter Thiel, a legendary figure in Silicon Valley. He's not only the co-founder of PayPal, but also an early investor in Facebook and a key player in the success of companies like SpaceX and Palantir. Thiel is a true godfather of innovation, and 0 to 1 is more than just a book about entrepreneurship. It's a guide to how we can create the future. Thiel believes that most progress in the world is from 1 to n, meaning the expansion and optimization of existing ideas. But going from 0 to 1 is a qualitative leap, a creation from nothing, representing the most revolutionary and disruptive form of innovation. In the book, Peter Thiel mentions a question he often uses in interviews: what important truth do you believe that very few people agree with you on? This question seems simple, but is actually quite challenging. Most of the knowledge we learn in school consists of widely accepted, verified truths. We are taught to give the right answers rather than challenge established ideas. So, when faced with this question, many people are stumped because they are so used to thinking within the established framework. Answering this question is not just an intellectual challenge, but also a psychological one. It requires the courage to express views that may not be popular. Thiel believes that this kind of courage is essential in entrepreneurship and innovation. Every true innovator views the world in a unique way. The essence of innovation is breaking the rules, questioning limitations, and finding new possibilities. The deeper meaning of this question is that it forces you to reconsider things that seem obvious and to challenge widely accepted beliefs. Only when you dare to question the existing mental frameworks can you discover true opportunities for innovation. In the book, Peter Thiel introduces an important distinction between horizontal and vertical progress. Horizontal progress refers to copying and expanding existing things. For example, if you make one typewriter and then go on to produce 100 of them, that's horizontal progress. Vertical progress, on the other hand, is about creating something completely new. For instance, if you evolve a typewriter into a word processor, that's a qualitative leap, vertical progress. Thiel sees globalization as a form of horizontal progress. Globalization is essentially taking a successful model or technology from one place and spreading it to another. For example, China became the world's manufacturing hub by learning and replicating Western industrial models. This is horizontal progress driven by globalization. However, while globalization can bring economic growth, it cannot bring fundamental change. In contrast, technological innovation represents vertical progress. It changes the rules of the game and creates entirely new things. Thiel argues that globalization allows us to advance more quickly within existing frameworks, while technological innovation breaks those frameworks and leads us into a new era. True innovation is not about mere replication, but fundamentally changing how we think and solve problems. Peter Thiel emphasizes that technological innovation is the most powerful driver of societal progress. Without it, many of our most pressing problems would remain unsolved. He gives a great example. Imagine that China significantly increases its energy output through globalization over the next 20 years. Without new technologies to reduce pollution, air quality will deteriorate just as quickly. Globalization can bring more resources and wealth, but if we rely on outdated technologies, it will only lead to greater catastrophe. Technological innovation is not just the key to solving current problems, but also the core force in creating the future. Thiel reflects on human history and points out that progress was incredibly slow for thousands of years. It wasn't until the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century that humanity entered a phase of accelerated development. Since the mid-20th century, especially with the advent of computers and the Internet, the pace of technological advancement has reached unprecedented heights. He notes that the society we inherit today is far richer than any other time in history. This isn't just because globalization distributed wealth, but because technological innovation has created possibilities we never had before. Whether it was the steam engine or the widespread adoption of computers and the Internet, these were all qualitative leaps driven by technological innovation. Thiel believes that true technological innovation often originates from small startups. These companies are made up of like-minded individuals with a mission to change the world. Unlike large corporations, small startups are much more flexible and can quickly adapt to market changes. More importantly, startups are able to challenge established ideas and innovate from scratch. Thiel particularly emphasizes the importance of new ideas in startups. Flexibility is important, but new ideas are even more critical. A startup shouldn't just be agile in responding to market changes, it should challenge existing systems from the outset and rethink the industry it is in. Only then can a startup create truly disruptive products and services. He gives a great example. Many of Silicon Valley's most successful companies started with small innovative ideas. Google, for instance, began as a small search engine company, but, through continuous innovation, became the dominant player in the global search engine market. Similarly, Facebook started as a small social platform for Harvard students, but expanded into the world's leading social media giant. In the book, Peter Thiel introduces the concept of contrarian thinking. He asks a thought-provoking question: what important truth do you believe that others do not? This isn't just a classic interview question, it's a core principle in Thiel's approach to entrepreneurship and investing. The key to contrarian thinking is recognizing impractical, widely held beliefs and uncovering the real opportunities hidden behind them. Thiel points out that many traditional ideas are arbitrary and wrong. When these mistaken beliefs fall apart, new opportunities emerge. The internet bubble of the 1990s is a good example. At the time, many people blindly believed traffic is more important than profits, but this belief was eventually proven wrong. Thiel argues that successful entrepreneurs are not those who follow the crowd, but those who dare to challenge popular beliefs. They can see the truths that the crowd overlooks and have the courage to explore them. When you can discover opportunities where others are blind and have the courage to seize them, you have the potential to create tremendous value. In the late 1990s, the internet boom swept through Silicon Valley. Many people entered the tech industry, dreaming of changing the world. Entrepreneurs started companies left and right, and investors rushed to put money into them, as everyone seemed to be chasing the next great startup opportunity. Every corner of Silicon Valley was buzzing with innovation, and the goal of every entrepreneur was to become the next Google, Amazon, or Facebook. However, this frenzy ultimately led to the bursting of the dot-com bubble. Thiel points out that Silicon Valley in the late 90s was filled with a counter-business mindset. Many companies were growing rapidly but consistently losing money. People blindly believed that as long as they could build a large enough user base, profits would eventually follow. This way of thinking led many companies to collapse overnight when the bubble burst. Through this period of history, Thiel teaches us that entrepreneurship is not just about pursuing dreams, it's about having a clear path to profitability. If a company cannot make money, no matter how large its user base is, it will ultimately fail. Entrepreneurs must think seriously about how to create real value in the market rather than chasing vanity metrics. The story of PayPal is a classic example of Peter Thiel's entrepreneurial journey. PayPal initially aimed to create a new form of digital currency to replace the US dollar. It was a bold idea, but the market wasn't receptive in the beginning. PayPal's first product allowed users to transfer money via handheld devices, but hardly anyone needed this feature. The media even mocked the idea as one of the worst business concepts of 1999. However, PayPal's team didn't give up. They pivoted and developed an email payment system. This new product quickly gained traction with users. To further grow its user base, PayPal adopted an aggressive marketing strategy. Every new user received $10 upon registration, and they could earn another $10 for referring a friend. This strategy helped PayPal rapidly accumulate hundreds of thousands of users, with the user base growing exponentially. In 2000, PayPal successfully raised $100 million just before the dot-com bubble burst, giving it a critical lifeline. Through PayPal's success, Thiel demonstrates that entrepreneurship requires not only good ideas, but also flexible strategies and a deep understanding of the market. According to Peter Thiel, all failed businesses share one thing in common: they cannot escape the vicious cycle of competition. Companies in perfect competition sell homogeneous products with prices determined by the market, leaving little room for profit and minimal pricing power. Monopolies, on the other hand, are different. They have their own market and unique products, allowing them to set their own prices and enjoy hefty profits. Thiel uses Google as an example to illustrate the advantages of monopolies. Google dominates the search engine space with virtually no competition, giving it the freedom to set prices and generate enormous profits. In contrast, companies in highly competitive markets can barely survive, earning slim margins. Thiel argues that entrepreneurs should not follow the market, but instead seek out monopolistic opportunities. Only companies that can avoid fierce competition can create and capture lasting value. In the book, Peter Thiel exposes two lies that businesses often tell. First, monopolies tend to exaggerate market competition, trying to downplay their dominant position. Take Google, for instance. Although it monopolizes the search engine market, it typically doesn't openly acknowledge this. Instead, Google emphasizes competition in other areas to soften its monopoly image. Second, non-monopolistic companies do the opposite. They downplay competition and exaggerate their uniqueness. For example, an entrepreneur might say, "Our product is one of a kind in the market," but in reality, the market is often far more competitive than they claim. Thiel reminds us that entrepreneurs must have a clear understanding of the market and find truly differentiated opportunities, rather than simply inflating their strengths. Thiel argues that monopolies are not the problem in business. Rather, they are the hallmark of every successful company. Monopolies can generate greater profits and drive long-term societal progress. Monopolistic companies have the resources to invest in long-term research and innovation instead of chasing short-term profits like companies in competitive markets. He uses Apple as an example. Through products like the iPhone and iPad, Apple has established a powerful monopoly. This monopoly not only enabled Apple to achieve tremendous business success, but also gave it the financial capacity to continue innovating, launching more world-changing products. Thiel believes that monopolies' long-term planning and innovation capabilities are the core drivers of societal progress. So, how can we find opportunities for innovation? Thiel believes that secrets are at the core of every successful business. Behind each successful company lies a little-known secret, and it is this secret that drives their success. Thiel shares an interesting example. Mathematician Andrew Wiles spent 9 years researching in solitude to prove Fermat's last theorem, and he ultimately succeeded. This is a classic example of a secret, an important truth that wasn't yet known to the public. Thiel points out that many people no longer believe there are undiscovered opportunities in the world, so they stop searching for them. But the world is still full of secrets, and only those who persist in exploring them will find the opportunities that lead to disruptive innovation. Throughout the book, Peter Thiel repeatedly emphasizes that success is not a matter of luck, but a result of careful planning and execution. He criticizes the view that attributes success to luck, arguing that this mindset makes people passive and complacent. On the contrary, Thiel believes that success can be achieved through long-term planning and relentless effort. He shares his own example. When founding PayPal, Thiel and his team faced countless challenges and uncertainties. But instead of relying on luck, they continually adjusted their strategies and ultimately achieved great success. Thiel believes that entrepreneurs should have a clear plan and not depend on so-called good fortune. Without a plan, you're likely to fall into chaos and failure. In 0 to 1, Peter Thiel discusses everything from how to identify blind spots in the market through contrarian thinking, to avoiding competition and establishing monopolistic dominance, to discovering secrets for breakthrough innovation.